Everton 4-0 in Ruben Amorim's first home game in the Premier League. What a performance, what a result. Before I get into my match reaction, I'm going to ask one small favour of you. Get in the comment section, let me know your thoughts on today's game. Were you happy with the performance? Who was your man of the match? Let me know in the comment section below. And if this is your first time watching the channel today, don't forget to subscribe, drop a like. Everyone is welcome. Right, let's get straight on into it then. So, special shout out, I just want to say from the very, very beginning to Joshua Zirkzee. He's had so much criticism. There's been so much rumours going around saying that Man United want to sell him, that they don't think he's good enough, that he was a mistake. Joshua Zirkzee was amazing today. Absolutely spectacular. He played the full 90 minutes, got 2 goals. And by the end of the game, he was starting to do all these nice little passes and these nice little flicks and touches. He has been trying for the past couple of months, but most of the time, it just doesn't seem to pay off. But today, I was really, really happy for Zirkzee. And it's good to see us getting goals from different players. Obviously, Rashford got 2 goals today. Really, really solid performance. But for Joshua Zirkzee to get 2 goals today, it's just such good news. It really, really is. Because if Joshua Zirkzee can come good at Manchester United, I think he will be a good signing. And, you know, people were already willing to write him off after 10 games, if even that. He's barely played any minutes at all, really, if you think about it. Obviously, he scored the goal on the first game of the season against Fulham at home. And then other than that, obviously, he hasn't really contributed that much. But yeah, really, really happy for Joshua Zirkzee. And one of the other things as well, which I really wanted to focus in on the match reaction today, and this is probably the most important thing that I noticed in today's game, was the team's willingness to play for one another. Now, what I mean by this is, 2 of the goals today, both of Joshua Zirkzee's goals, to be fair. Normally, Bruno Fernandes would shoot there. Normally, Amad Diallo would shoot there. But today, they didn't. Today, they realised that if they squared the ball across the box, they had somebody waiting there who was open to score an open goal. And I've said this for years and years and years. Our problem is not creating chances. We create so many chances, we just don't finish them. And a lot of the time, we don't finish them because our players are greedy. Our players, instead of passing the ball to somebody who's got an open goal, they'll try and score. They'll go for the glory themselves. And then 9 times out of 10, they miss and we end up drawing games, we end up losing games. But today, that didn't happen. Now, that has to be something to do with Ruben Amorim. It has to be. Because I don't know why suddenly they would just start passing the ball, you know? He must just, the togetherness must just be there at the moment. They must be all fully behind this new manager, the new project. And from what I've heard and what I've seen, there is a really, really positive mood around the Manchester United camp at the moment. Obviously, the game against Ipswich last week, slightly disappointing. You know, we would have liked to have won that game, but we didn't. The performance against Bodo Glimt, I thought was really good. And I think the scoreline actually flattered them. We should have won that game comfortably. Even the Bodo Glimt manager came out after that game and said that they didn't deserve a point or to even, you know, they didn't deserve anything from that game. Man United were levels better. Today, let's do a little bit of a reaction of today's game, though, because obviously that's what we're here for. Everton were decent in the first 10 or so minutes, which was a little bit concerning. You know, they had a couple of chances where they probably should have scored. But at the end of the day, football, a lot of the time is about luck. And we got that luck in the first 20 minutes. Everton should have got a couple of goals probably, or at least one. They didn't. We then capitalised on that. And by half-time, I would say the game was nearly over. I know 2-0 isn't a massive scoreline, but I would have been very surprised if they came back from 2-0 with us at home. But yeah, I'm just really, really happy today. You know, it feels like the mood is going in the right direction. Big ups to Fred, who's just gifted 5 memberships to the Daily Red Devil Members Club. Thank you for your support, my friend. I really, really appreciate it, and I hope you're doing well. I also want to send a special shout out to Amad Diallo. Absolutely unbelievable today. Unbelievable. Him in that right wing-back position, special. And as I said a couple of minutes ago, I'm just so happy that these players look like they're playing for one another. You know, Amad Diallo has the chance to score. Instead, he passes the ball across the box and Joshua Zirkzee slots it into the net. I love to see that. Because if you look at some of the best teams in history, right? You look at the prime Barcelona team. That was what they used to do. They would have opportunities to score, and instead of shooting themselves, they would pass it to someone else. And that's something that Man United just don't seem to be able to do over the last couple of years. But pretty much since Erik ten Hag was sacked, it seems like it's changing. There are still some players who don't pass the ball. I'm not going to name names. This is a positive video. We've just won 4-0. I'm not going to start, calling players out. But Amad today, amazing, absolutely breathtaking. Bruno Fernandes, I thought was absolutely quality as well. Onana made a couple of really big saves. I think Onana, for me, has been one of our players of the season. Him and Mazraoui, so far, I would say are the players of the season. Onana's currently top in the Premier League for the clean sheets. And I'm so happy that he got his clean sheet today, you know? I really, really am. And I hope that the momentum's building now. I'm not going to sit here and say we're back. I'm not going to sit here and say that we're going to win the league or anything stupid, because that would be naive. But what I will say is this: we are going in the right direction and we are climbing up the table. And I know that sounds a little bit obvious, but when you look at some of the results that have gone our way today, Tottenham have just drawn 1-1 with Fulham. So we are only 1 point behind Tottenham. We've had our worst start to the season in, what is it, like 100 years or something mad. And we're only 1 point behind Tottenham. We're currently only 4 points behind fourth place, having played 13 games. I mean, that's nothing, is it? 4 points. And the team who are in fourth at the moment are Brighton. And I'm pretty sure as well, fifth place should get Champions League football this season. So, yeah, 4 points away from Champions League football at the moment. It's not that much, is it? We're ahead of Newcastle now. We're ahead of Aston Villa. Aston Villa have just lost 3-0, which is absolutely mad, to Chelsea. Aston Villa are down to 12th now. So, you know, things are going in the right direction. Obviously, Ruben Amorim, I think, has been a breath of fresh air so far. I think he's an absolutely unbelievable manager. I think his presence, I think his aura, the way he speaks, the way he conducts himself, if he's anything like how he's like in the press conferences, I think these players will really, really enjoy working with him, because he seems just likable. He's smiley. He's kind of, you know, he can make jokes and stuff. He can be quite lighthearted, but I think at the same time, he speaks some real truths. And that's one thing I really, really love about Ruben Amorim. He's only been here for 3 games, Ruben Amorim, right? He's probably only done 2 or 3 press conferences. But I just love the way that he speaks. When he speaks, I listen. He has my full attention. And I love the fact that he's just honest. You know, even last week against Bodo Glimt, Rasmus Højlund gets 2 goals. And Ruben Amorim says in the press conference, like, oh, he can still improve. He takes too many touches. That's what we need. We need managers who are putting out positive reinforcement to these players. He spoke about Mason Mount, saying that he's going to be an amazing player for him and all of this. And I feel really, really happy. You know, I think we're still a very long way away from, you know, being title challengers and stuff. Let's be realistic. You know, we can't be naive, but we are going in the right direction. Yeah, I'm just happy. There was so many good performances today across the pitch. Amad Diallo, unbelievable. Joshua Zirkzee, unbelievable. Rashford, 2 goals today. Brilliant to see. Kobe Mainoo, great to see Mainoo back on the pitch. I love Kobe. Bruno, I thought was absolutely phenomenal today. Onana, again, unbelievable. As I said, for me, he's one of the players of the season so far. Mazraoui, absolutely mad player. The fact that we got Mazraoui for 12 million still completely baffles me. I can't get my head around it. What were Bayern Munich thinking when they agreed to sell us Mazraoui for only 12 million? To me, and people can take this for whatever they want, right? You can say that I'm crazy. You can say that I'm deluded. I don't care. For me, from what I've seen of Mazraoui, he's a 50, 60 million pound player. Without a shadow of a doubt. No doubt about it. He's unbelievable. So good. And the fact that he's playing as a centre-back at the moment, and he's still just as good as he is as a right-back, that just shows me how much of a good player he is. Obviously, he set up the goal for Rasmus Højlund, didn't he, in the Europa League in the week? Like, unbelievable player. I think De Ligt has really settled in. I think he looks really composed. Martinez, I thought, was good today. Obviously, he did pick up a yellow card, which means that Martinez will miss the Arsenal game on Wednesday, which is a bit disappointing. And Kobe Mainoo will also miss the Arsenal game because he got a yellow card. Obviously, in the Premier League, if you pick up too many yellow cards, then you miss the next game. So both Mainoo and Martinez will be out of the Arsenal game. But again, going back to Ruben Amorim, one of the other things that's really impressed me so far is his ability to rotate the squad. That was one of the things that Erik ten Hag used to drive me crazy. He wouldn't rotate. It would be the same team every single week. Even if we lost the game, the next game, the same players would play. Ahmad would never play. Rashford would play every game. Bruno would play every game. Today, we were 4-0 up, and he takes Bruno off. Correct decision. I mean, I'm not a football manager. I'm a football fan. But it's clear to see, if your team is 4-0 up, Bruno Fernandes should be taken off. And that's what he does. Whereas I think under Erik ten Hag, Bruno Fernandes would have played till the last minute. you know? But yeah, like if you look at the subs throughout the game, Mazraoui came off, De Ligt came off, Casemiro came off, Bruno came off, Mainu came off. He made 5 substitutions throughout the game. 5. There were some games under Erik ten Hag where we'd be sat there in the 70th minute, we'd be losing and there'd be no substitutions. We'd be playing terribly and I'd be sat there scratching my head saying, why are we not making any subs? Whereas Ruben Amorim knows what he's doing, you know? And the most important thing about this is, right, and you really need to focus in on this fact, his ability to make these players feel involved, okay? Maguire played for 30 minutes today. Luke Shaw played for nearly half the game. Mount played. Ugarte played. Garnacho played. All of the players that we want to be involved in this squad are getting minutes. They're getting their opportunity. They're getting their chance. And what that will do is it will create healthy competition. The mood will be really positive around the team because everybody feels like they're contributing. There aren't players like Ahmad under Ten Hag who sat there saying, what can I do to get in the team? You know, I'm never going to be picked. Like, he's being fair. He's rotating. And I love to see that because obviously we've got another game on Wednesday. And you can kind of already predict who's going to play that game now, can't you? Because of, well, 1, because of injuries and 2, because of suspensions, etc. So for the game on Wednesday, Manuel Ugarte will probably start because obviously he didn't start today. Højlund will probably start. Bruno Fernandes will obviously start. Mason Mount will probably start. Do you know what I mean? You can kind of piece it all together. But yeah, I'm just really, really happy. I really do think we're going in the right direction. I'm not going to be naive. I'm not going to sit here and say that, you know, we're back. I don't think so, to be honest. And I was saying to my friend earlier, like, when was the last time that Man United were 4-0 up in the Premier League? I don't remember. I know under Ollie we got a couple of big scorelines, but yeah. And when you think we've still got Luke Shaw to come back to full fitness, we've got Lenny Yoro to come back. There is other people as well. You know, there's still other people coming in. So yeah, really, really happy with it so far. But yeah, everybody who's just joined the video, if you could do me a small favor and smash a like, that'd be really, really appreciated. And if this is your first time watching, make sure you subscribe. I've just dropped a link into the chat to subscribe. We're about to hit 40,000 subscribers. I would love to do it by the end of today's video. So go and subscribe right now if you haven't already. If we hit 40k by the end of today's video, I will I'll do some sort of competition or a giveaway or something. So go and like and subscribe now. Let's see what people are saying in the chat. Fred says the rotation has been superb. You can't fault it. Yeah, agreed, mate. 100%. Don says great result. Inspired my 12 days of Christmas. 1 theatre of dreams. 2 Euro doubles. Blah, 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 blah. Fred says, did you notice that the swagger is back? Oh, mate, 100%. There was actually some nice play today. Somebody says, stop getting carried away. We have been here before. Mate, I hear you 100%. And, you know, I like to read up both sides of the argument. I'm not getting carried away. We've just won 4-0. We don't ever win 4-0, and I'm happy. But I'm going to tell you again, I won't be naive. We might win 4-0 today and we might lose 4-0 to Arsenal on Wednesday. You know, this is still the beginning of the process. But what we can see is that Ruben Amorim has clearly got these players interested. Ruben Amorim has clearly got these players feeling like they're involved. There is a togetherness. There is a positive mood around the squad. The formation is interesting. It's different. The tactics are clearly working. And this is hopefully the beginning of something special. Will it work? Maybe not. Maybe we'll be sat here in a year's time and he'll be sacked. Who knows? It's possible. Anything could happen. Or we might be sat here in a year's time. We might have just won the Premier League and, you know, there's no way of predicting in football. Who would have thought that Man City would be where they are this season? You know, they haven't won a game in 6 matches. Like, no, however much of a football fan you think you are, nobody can really predict what's going to happen in the future. You know, Liverpool have all but won the league already. You never know, Arsenal might win the league. We just don't know, do we? And that's why football's entertaining. If it was predictable, people wouldn't watch it. People like football because anything can happen. But yeah, I'm going to wrap the video up here. I feel like I'm rambling on a little bit. I'm very, very happy. My man of the match today is going to go to Joshua Zirkzee. Close second for Amad Diallo, but I'm going to give it to Joshua Zirkzee. I want you to let me know in the comment section before you leave who is your man of the match for today's game. Don't forget to drop a like before you leave. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. This has been Daily Red Devil. I'll be back tomorrow morning with another live video. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll speak to you all later. Bye for now.